What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. My name's Julio, and I'm joined today by a friend and a fellow Inter Miami fan, Chris. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for stopping by and joining us on the Heron Heads podcast, powered by 786 Sports, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. Before we begin, a huge shout out to our chief Heron Heads, Madi V and Chow. Thank you for your continued generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, there are links in the description wherever you are listening. There's a few other links in there. There's a link to our Discord server, which has been very lively of late. So check that out if you're interested. And a couple other things in there for you guys to check out. So without further ado, we're going to be previewing Columbus, which is Saturday. But before we get to that, we had a match last night where I don't know about you, Chris, but I don't feel like I learned anything new about this team. How did you feel? First off, how are you? And then secondly, did you learn anything from last night?
I'm great. Just a quick turnaround from one match to the other. So, yeah, I mean, the first half sucked, to be honest. The first half was pretty bad. And it's kind of what we expected. Same thing that we've been seeing. And then all of a sudden, they just started tearing it up and things just started clicking on the attack. And the Montreal just defense, horrible defense in general, just showed. Honestly, they gave us plenty of chances. They were breaking down a lot, and it just became easy all of a sudden, which it wasn't in the first half, and it should have been. We said it multiple times. You said our Discord's been lively. We said it in our Discord that, man, this game should really be like 3-0 at the half, and it wasn't. A lot of missed opportunities. We still saw Suarez very slow out there. Yes, he got his brace. Shout out, by the way, to Brian Montoya. He's here in the comments now. He actually messaged me on the Instagram a couple hours before the game, and he said Suarez is going to get a brace tonight. Book it, and he did. So, congrats. But yeah, it was just a slow game, but then it just all of a sudden erupted, and it's what we've been wanting to see, but it's hard to really say we're back. It's hard to really be super excited just because of what we've seen. And this team is just really bad. Montreal, just really, really bad. They're
really bad, and they scored against us twice.
Yeah.
So what does that make us?
Yeah, exactly. Mascherano wasn't happy about that at the end. He says he kind of put the blame on the players there. He says that they kind of fell asleep, they got complacent, and they allowed the 2 goals, and which shouldn't have been allowed. So it was nice to see him say that in the press conference. He didn't just say some BS that he usually says every match. But yeah, that's what I saw from that match. Just in general.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way Chris did. I saw it, and I felt like we kind of went over on what they're usually getting. 0.8 the last 10 games have had 0.8 goals scored against them, and or scored that they scored, and they end up getting 2 goals. So it's like, ultimately, like, we're not necessarily holding anyone that's ripping through teams. So it's hard to get excited about that. We're not. That's why I'm not in the pregame. I don't know if you guys remember. I kind of said we can beat them 4-0, and I still wouldn't know what do we have with that, right? Like, yeah. We're like, how are we going to get excited about beating this team? They're not very good, and they were not good.
And that's sort of what I was meaning when I said I feel like I didn't learn anything from this game, because we knew that we were a better team than Montreal. We knew that our defense stunk, and confirmed we allowed 2 goals to the team that heading into the day was tied for last in goals scored. We allowed 2. They had scored 10 all season, and they got 2 last night, which is like just silly. And it's the same kind of goals that we've been allowing, just like lapses in awareness and judgment, leading to really easy chances inside the penalty box. So it's again, like, I didn't learn anything, but we're going to learn about a few players that are going to be forced into the spotlight now, because there were 3 injuries last night that we came out with, right? We had Lujan first get injured, which
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but the problem is that Alba also got injured, and then Toto, who came in for Lujan, also went off injured. So,
And
our
then Mascherano finally played Falcon.
correct,
Jesus.
our depth at center back will be tested here as we head into just a crazy fixture against Columbus.
Yeah, that the injuries is really what worries me going into this Columbus match, going into the Club World Cup. Yes, I get it. We're not expected to do anything in the Club World Cup, but I still would like to go out there with everybody healthy and a full squad, regardless of knowing what our main starting 11 is or not. I still want everyone healthy. So these injuries aren't good. Bright got injured the last match as well. So, these injuries are piling on at a very bad time, especially with a big match on Saturday. Club World Cup coming up, and just there's a lot of congestion coming up, so you don't like to see that. The Lujan injury, to me, it's not a big deal. I think to most fans, it's not a big deal. We know and we believe he's not anywhere near the top CBs that we have, center backs that we have on the team. We think he's one of the lower tier ones. Toto being injured to me is a bigger deal than Lujan, even though Toto's not really playing a lot. He's not seeing a lot of minutes. I think he brings more to the table than Lujan. So him being hurt is rough. Bright getting hurt the match before is super, super hard to swallow there. That's rough. I hope he gets better soon. And then Alba, man, that hamstring injury. Let's hope it's not a big deal. It's just another soft tissue injury on this team. It seems like every year it's the same thing, hamstring issues and these abductor issues and all this stuff. So I think Alba out of all of them is probably the biggest one. Let's hope he's okay. And all we could do is just wait to see what they tell us, even though they don't say much, but we just gotta wait it out and see. I doubt he'll be here for Saturday if it's any sort of significant injury. But we just gotta see.
Yeah, it's because of the nature of the injury being soft tissue. It's just like it takes my head to the place where I'm like, man, Mascherano just grinds these guys down to a pulp, to dust, and this is why you don't log 1,000+ minutes in half the regular season for some of these players that are older. It's been congested, right? Like we have more schedule congestion, but it's been congested. So having these players play all these minutes, and sort of out of necessity too. Like it's not like Mascherano was like, nah, this is kind of the soft game because we're losing soft games. So it's hard, man. It's really unfortunate that Alba got injured because we've seen how this team performs without a number of the players that are on the current roster. But when we miss Alba, we miss a huge component in attack and defense, and that heading into a match against Columbus, that is very worrisome.
Yeah,
to say the least. I actually have no idea, and Jose, I don't know if you're ready, so I might be throwing you into the fire, but I don't have a good idea of who played well and who didn't. So I don't know if you're ready for most and least of the match. I have one comment before we get there, is Toto went down, and that finally led to Falcon. We also saw David Martinez come in because Noah Allen slotted into left back once Alba went down. Martinez looked bad.
Yep.
So he's going to be my nominee, even though he was only in for not that long. He's going to be my nominee for least of the match. But Jose, I'll let you take it away. You give me the nod of approval. I can play our little cutscene.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
And now it's time for Jose's most and least of the match, presented by SofaScore.
So, Julio, that your least of the match won't count because it's a sub. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But I can throw him in there if you like.
No, I can guess. I can guess elsewhere.
He was bad enough that he would have won it.
Well, that gives me comfort, I guess.
Yeah. So with most of the match, I think it's obvious. I think it was just Messi and Suarez that had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for that from Suarez, right? I mean, he had a fantastic game.
Yeah. And Messi in specific had
Suarez scored.
He assisted two goals, 1 assist. I mean, anybody in their right minds would be happy as heck that they had that kind of game, man.
I say Messi had a fantastic game. Messi had an insane game, and Suarez had a very good game.
Not the same.
Not the same.
They are not the same at all.
You know? Yeah. Messi had an insane game. I mean, he was playing great all match. So yeah, those are 2 easy top ones. But maybe let's guess after that.
Let's guess after that, Chris. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with. Let's go with Delasco. I feel like Delasco had a good game.
I don't think it's anyone in defense, so I'm gonna go with Allende, just as a shot in the dark. I don't think he was up there, but
Allende 6.7. Delasco had a 7.1. Sergio Busquets had a 7.2, and that's with the yellow card.
Busi had a good game.
I agree.
He did.
I would say it was Busi, which is funny. After the broadcast, they actually, you guys hate it, but the broadcast said it was Suarez that had the best game. So they disagree with SofaScore. SofaScore gave it to Messi 9.7.
You know what they're doing? They're trying to raise capital. They're trying to raise interest because anyone that watches this team knows Suarez, despite getting involved in 3 goals, which is crazy to say, despite being involved in 3 goals, I thought they came across more so because of how bad Montreal is defensively than him doing anything out of the ordinary. I mean, the second goal he had, great play. I mean, I certainly could not make the play he made to take the ball away from the person from the defender in the box, and then it was a tap in, essentially. The first one was a nice goal, whatever. I can't say I'm happy that he saw the ball hit the back of the net. I hope he scores 1,000,000 goals between now and the end of the season, but I wouldn't go as far as saying that he had like a great game, the best game. Yeah, he filled up the stat sheet, but like, this is a bad Montreal team. There's no other way to slice it.
Well, but that's all of that's our whole output for this game, right? And it's because of that, you know.
Which again, like, going into this match, I knew we were a better team than Montreal.
But hey, I also think that we're a better team than most of the other MLS teams as well. The thing is that what I think is that we just haven't been able to bring it out. That's where we always have been saying Mascherano out and all that stuff, is because of that. Because we're consistently thinking that we're underperforming, correct? Like, we think that we're underperforming. Not that we have a bad team. I think we have a good team. We have a solid team that. Well, when we first started, we were just blowing through teams.
Yeah, but if they don't perform, then we are a bad team. Or not, I don't think we're a bad team. I think we're just a very average team right now with how we're performing. I think if everyone performs at their level, we are an elite team in this league. But with how we're performing, I think we're just a bang average team.
But I think we've attributed that to coaching, right?
1,000%.
So that's what I'm saying. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we shook some screws, and all of a sudden we're good on Columbus, and we just keep the train rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I hope he scores 1,000,000 goals between now and the end of the season. I would love nothing more.
Yeah, we need it.
So who is least of the match? Because
I
think there's a few good candidates.
Lujan.
Go ahead. Who do you got?
Lujan.
Good one.
Insult to injury. Man, I kind of want to say Ustadi.
Lots of choices.
I kind of want to say Ustadi. Who started? I guess Allen. I thought Allen was fine.
Allen started well until they put him out to left back.
Yeah,
that's when it kind of went downhill.
I'll say Ustadi.
I didn't realize, but Ustadi had the 3rd best score on the team.
Oh,
he had a couple nice saves, but
I didn't expect that, actually. I just didn't even look at him because he's just annoying to me lately. But yeah, exactly. He had 7.3. Noah Allen won it with 6.5, 6.6 Lujan, 6.6 Redondo, and 6.3 for Martinez.
Perfect example. I completely forgot Redondo was even
6.2.
Correct, Chris.
I had I just forgot. He was not noticeable. He didn't do anything, and that makes sense.
Redondo.
Yeah. Now you said it on those 6.6. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
that
yeah,
makes
he
sense.
was out there.
Falcon 6.2, Kremaski 6.3, Fafa 6.4.
Yeah, the subs didn't make any sort of impact. Not really. Martinez had, one set
Fafa
of
did.
plays. Yeah, Fafa did, I guess.
One of the goals was part of his play.
Right.
So.
Martinez, like, there's one play or set of plays that I just keyed in on, and it was this cross that came in from pretty far away, and Martinez was the only player who was like 5 yards behind the defensive line, keeping someone onside. The ball got to the guy anyways, and then whatever, the defense got back, pushed him upfield, and then at the top of the box he just dove both feet forward and just like scissor kicked the guy at the top of the box and led to a free kick. And I was like, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that was a nasty tackle. It's unnecessary.
That was pretty bad, man. And if who starts for Colombia? I mean, I guess we can get to that later, but if Martinez is elevated to starter status, I'm extremely concerned for that match. I mean, I'm already a little concerned for that match, but that would be very worrisome. Yeah. So I don't have too much else to say about this Montreal match. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about this Montreal match. Again, I don't feel like I learned anything. I'm very happy that we won. I'm very happy that Suarez saw the back of the net twice.
The alternative, right? The alternative was you lose.
Correct.
To this team and like, come on.
I mean, even drawing to this team would have been egregious, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it was in the plus 390 if we tied with them. Like
yeah, that. I mean, we were favored minus 220, days before the match. So it would have been. I mean, we were heavily favored. They showed like the win. They showed the win probability at the beginning of the broadcast, and it was like 61% that Inter Miami win, and then 20% draw, 20% Montreal to win. Like, the odds were extremely in our favor as far as like what Vegas thought the outcome was going to be. So it would have been a horrific result, anything other than a win.
I'll tell you what, at halftime, I did not feel good. It was 1-0, and I
agree.
This game could get very ugly very quick.
Because you never know. We've seen it before with our squad, unfortunately, where all of a sudden you let it go past, and it was a stupid play where our right back just decided to go a little bit too far up, and we were exposed. We always clamor for Frey. How did you guys feel about Frey?
I thought he played good defense, and I thought he played very well on the attack. I thought he was bringing the ball up very well. His dribbling was always on point for the most part, and he was really trying to make something happen. He wasn't when we have Cello going up with the ball, it seems like he tries to do some crazy things. The play gets stalled, it gets taken away, and then they fly back on a counter. And I thought Frey handled the ball very well, and he really drove up. He made some nice runs. I like the way he played. Nothing crazy, nothing spectacular, but I thought he was very solid.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree. I don't think Frey's playing particularly well. I think he has little moments. He got up in one. I remember one attack that came obviously on the right side, and he overlaps really well with whoever's playing on the right wing. And he picks and chooses those moments well, and he's able to carry the ball basically to the attacking penalty box and play dangerous balls across. So I think he's been fine the last few matches. There's definitely more to his game that he's just not in he's not in a great run of form right now. But the same would be said for Cello. I honestly don't know like who I would want to start against Columbus. I always want Frey to start because I think his ceiling's much higher than Cello. But I don't think either of them have been particularly great recently. So I think everything that Chris said resonates with me, but I think Frey's been fine lately.
I also like the size that Frey brings that Cello doesn't have. It helps in any set pieces. It helps just to body someone every now and then. I know Cello's a bulldog at times and all that, but Frey just brings that natural size to the position that Cello doesn't have. So that's another plus on him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Especially on like set pieces, we've seen Frey do some damage and Cello doesn't.
Yeah.
Chelo doesn't have that. If the ball falls to him after a corner, he'll rip it into the last row.
Yep.
So Saturday's a big match. Obviously, we take on Columbus. We, in hindsight, somehow beat them in Cleveland because the match was played at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. Much to the dismay of a lot of Columbus fans, because it really makes no sense for them to bypass Ohio Stadium or whatever it's called.
Probably why we won.
Yeah, so we beat them last time in Cleveland, and they come back down to Chase Stadium. I mean, I have very little confidence that we'll come out with a win. I think a draw or better would be a great result. I think a loss would be very unsurprising to me based on how both teams are playing.
Yeah, Columbus has been kind of like up and down. They've had some really, really nice form or times that they look really good, and sometimes they're like, just kind of average, but obviously they stayed on top of the table. But yeah, man, they're one of the best teams in the East. They're one of the best teams in the MLS in general. So it's going to be a tough one. It all depends. Really, these injuries suck. It's like we said in the beginning, it's just bad timing. So it's hard to tell what Mascherano is going to roll out with. We could obviously say who we want out there, who we think is the best, and will that be the difference? I don't know. I don't trust Mascherano's tactics right now. I don't trust his personnel decisions to really say that we're going to go out there and compete with Columbus. But hey, we did it somehow. We beat them at home. Last match. So we're at home. We play very well at Chase Stadium. So it's a whole different atmosphere. I'm expecting La Familia to be out there making some noise, coming off of a big win. Anything could happen. So, but man, they're good. Can't put it past that. They're good.
Speaking of bringing the noise, right now, let's just say we're not bringing the noise with ticket sales. It's $39 to get in, and you're going to see Columbus versus Inter Miami. That's a pretty good game. We always, in the last game, remember I told you it was like $27 to get in and see Messi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is literally like, this is a Saturday.
Do you think there's like fatigue, like fan fatigue, or like hype fatigue sort of setting in? Like, how we see like when
we're sucking. I think we're sucking, and nobody wants to see a sucky product.
I think it's a mixture. It's a mixture of the expectations are so high, and we expect it to be one of the best, if not the best, in the league, and blowing people out. And it's it's almost the opposite. We're just stagnant. You go out there, you watch a team that has no real identity. They're kind of all over the place, and we see the same thing match after match after match. So I think that's really what it is. Yeah, everyone's that's what Shu said. He's fatigued of seeing him suck. That's what it is. So it is. The expectation was so high, and they're not performing. People are tired of that.
David's saying that the Panthers are stealing the spotlight. They don't play on Saturday. They're done.
I also disagree with that.
Only Inter Miami playing Columbus, and like nobody wants to go see it.
I can definitely agree with that for yesterday's match, where it's a severe drop off in competition.
Yeah,
but I mean, under $50 is pretty.
Oh my God, $25 crazy. Take your family out to see that game. It's amazing.
One of the best teams in the league. Watch Messi out there. Shoot, that's a good price.
Yeah, that is. I mean, what a stark difference from last year, right? When tickets were minimum like $100 to that ticket price.
Well, and then you weren't even certain if you were gonna actually see Messi play.
Right.
At least now it's like what, $25-$30, and you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna see him or not, but it's $25-$30.
Yeah, and chances are good because he's been playing almost every match, which is great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, this is. Maybe sorry, go.
Maybe this game he doesn't play because he just played on Wednesday, and
he'll play against Columbus.
I was gonna say the opposite. This is a big match. I think he will play because if you look at it now, we have a decent break until Club World Cup starts. So I don't see why he wouldn't play, to be honest.
Yeah, because after Saturday, then it's literally 2 weeks.
Yeah,
between then and the match between Inter Miami and Al Ahly.
Yeah,
in the Club World Cup. So yeah, I would be surprised if Messi didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and talking about Columbus a little bit. I know that I know we did it last time. We did play them very well. They didn't play very well as far as Nagby. We kept him in check. I feel like that's one of the guys that kind of get out to Diego Rossi in good spots. We kept him in very good check in the midfield, and then on top of that, Rossi didn't have a very good game. You know, I think that's going to be the key for us to come up victorious again against them. I'm excited to see how we're able to play them this time around and how they're going to play us, right? Because we won that game, and I don't know, but I think we all felt like I was a little bit of a surprise, you know. So I'm curious to see now, coming off of a good victory against Montreal, just how getting those goals under us, how maybe that lifts us a little bit better and into a more positive outlook the rest of the season. Because if we win this game, okay, the ticket price is going to go a little bit more up.
No, if we win this match right before the Club World Cup, that's a huge momentum boost. It's like we said, it's the best team, one of the best teams in the East, and a win against them would be huge at this point in time. After everything we've been through the last 2 months, now it's just a perfect timing to get a big win against a team like that.
Yeah. Our defense was playing so much better back then. That's just to me, it's what stands out the most is back then we were allowing like maybe a goal a game. And now it's like that's the given. Like that's the floor now, is that we're going to allow a goal. So, I mean, especially given how banged up they are after last night, that's to me where the biggest concern is, because at any given moment, this team can score a goal, meaning Inter Miami, but same goes for the defense. At any given moment, they can allow a goal from whoever we're playing.
Yeah.
So my player to watch, and he actually was least of the match for Columbus last time we played them, was Gazdag. I thought he was going to be hugely impactful, but he's been just very average for them this season. He was like a big acquisition right at the beginning of the season. But he, to me, he has the ability to unlock defenses with his passing, and he has the ability to score as well. So he, for me, is someone to watch. I know, Jose, you really like Rossi. He's a huge danger. He's a huge threat. Same goes for him, right? Like his ability to be just a playmaker, right? Like he can score, he can pass. I think it goes without saying that he's a huge threat to the back line, especially because I believe he plays down the right usually. So going against presumably Allen, that's something to definitely watch out for, because while Allen has experience playing left back in Mascherano's system, and I use the word system very loosely, I hope that he finds his like comfort range.
Who are you talking about?
Noah Allen. Like I hope Noah Allen's able to understand.
He'd be going
like
against
his positioning. That's what I'm saying. Like specifically Allen, like he needs to not get dragged too far up in attack at times, because Rossi has a lot of pace to him, so he can definitely exploit spaces left behind from Allen. So that's definitely like a matchup to watch in this match, is Allen versus Rossi.
Chela put Gazdag he put him in the doghouse.
Yeah, he sure did. Game. He sure did. And honestly, because of Chelo being probably better at defense than Frey, that's why I was saying, like, I'm not really 100% sure who I want to start this match, because of how well Chelo played against Columbus last match.
No, I do. You go with that. He knows. He obviously he played him well enough to just like he was least of the match, right? Like you said. I mean, he did not do well in that game, and we didn't even see him. Rossi had his moments, I felt, but just but ultimately they just weren't able to put it in the back of the net. But he had his moments too, though. So I'm curious how having Noah Allen as our,
so just the back line, right? Like,
yeah, that's scary.
You could argue that Noah Allen is one of our best center backs. So he's out because he's going to be playing left back. Lujan is out, who I wouldn't categorize as one of our best center backs, but he's out nonetheless. Toto's out. So you're left with Falcon and Martinez, realistically.
And Sailor.
And Christoph.
I wish the ghost of Christoph.
Yeah, that's scary, man.
And come on, Miller. Am I right? You know,
When you're right, Jose.
bless his heart. What a shame.
Did you just kill Kamal Miller? Like, what?
Oh, he died in our
Rest
in our
in peace,
fandom.
man. Rest in peace.
In our fandom, he died.
Went
You
out
know?
for Kamal Miller.
Like, what a shame. He was so nice. He was nice.
He
to
was
watch.
so nice. So David,
Speaking
sorry.
to that attendance, by
Go
the
ahead.
way, when we get these new acquisitions that we're like, there's so many things that we're projected to get. Right, I don't even know what to believe anymore. But that's the kind of thing that would trigger fans to go and watch the game again.
Oh yeah, like that would definitely reinvigorate everyone. And also, I mean, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I wonder what the Club World Cup is going to do, because while we may be competitive against Al Ahly, there's definitely a universe where we get demolished by Palmeiras and Porto.
Yeah.
And I wonder what that does to the like how that looks for this team, for the general public that like maybe isn't as in touch with how this team's been doing all season, because it's going to be like more visible of a competition, or it's going to have more notoriety to it. I wonder what that's going to do to this team's reputation from like the average fan that doesn't follow like too closely.
I mean,
because that could knock the ticket prices down even further.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All of a sudden, you see that we're crap next to all these other teams. Yeah, this doesn't look good at all. But do you think that's what's going to happen?
No, I mean, listen, I think Inter Miami is going to come out. We're 2.5 weeks away, but I think Inter Miami will come out, and I think Al Ahly is going to be a pretty tough match. Al Ahly is, I think, a multi-time like champion from that region. They're an Egyptian team, but I think they're more used to this type of competition than Inter Miami is. Right? Like Inter Miami only just recently entered the CONCACAF Champions Cup. And obviously like Messi and Suarez and Alba, like these guys have experience at levels that pretty much no other player that they're going to play in that match will have. But as a club, like the moment's not going to be too big for Al Ahly either. So I think that match is going to be more even than someone who's never heard of Al Ahly might think. And then Porto and Palmeiras, like, we got to hold on to our butts, as Dave would say.
Porto, I don't know how that would look good for us.
Yeah. We have to somehow, our defense has to keep us in the game until one of our Fantastic Four like finds the breakthrough.
I don't know. I just want to know why we don't go back to what we were doing in the beginning of the season. It was working.
Chris,
it was working.
I don't know.
It was working, and it drives me
Jose's
nuts.
trying, Chris.
And it just does. I don't get it.
What I'm hoping for is maybe that they're not going to play us with such a low block, and we're gonna see defenses.
Oh, definitely not.
Like you see how we're seeing defenses that went like Montreal, or we're like early in the season, Chris. Like what you were saying, the way they were playing us then, I'm praying that that's how they play us now in this Club World Cup.
These big clubs are going to have zero fear against us.
So you give us a little more space, and maybe we can get a few. And now
the problem
does that get me a little worried with our defense that has not been performing.
I think we're really going to see the stark contrast in the speed of the game between a European club in Porto and even Palmeiras. I think we're going to see a stark contrast in how fast these teams play compared to us. Because even though they may not sit in a low block, their ability to get back in defense is going to be like, oh, they don't need to play a low block.
Yeah. And what I meant about going back to the beginning of the season is not our attack. Our attack still wasn't great in the beginning of the season, but our defense was playing pretty lights out for the most part. Yes, we played some weak opponents, but we were playing very solid defense. But Mascherano changed it up. He wanted to try to get the attack going, and he screwed everything up.
Broke everything.
I was fine with 1-0 and 2-0. I was happy with that. That's perfect. I don't need 3 or 4 goals to make me happy, but I don't know.
Winning. Who likes that, Jose? This is so much better.
Boring. Boring.
So there's definitely some news that we can talk about, but before we get to that, obviously Dave Stradamus is not in the building tonight.
I have a few bets to go over as
Okay,
well.
so let's get to our betting segment brought to you by no one. But if you would like to sponsor us, let us know. Business inquiries to the email in our description. Jose, take it away.
Right now for
Gamble
Miami
responsibly.
win, yes. For Miami win plus 105. For Columbus win, it's plus 210. So we're the favorites.
Wow.
And a plus 300 to tie. That's interesting, right? It's not a big favorite by any means.
I mean, listen, when there's 3 possible outcomes, anything close to even to me is pretty favored. like pretty favorited.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm surprised. I think that's
we've been playing. I would never think that we
here's
are
what I think it is.
near
Here's what I think
favorite.
it is, Jose. It is completely to cater to the casual observer that just says Inter Miami has Messi. They probably have a really good chance to win. And they're just preying on that like public perception of what that means to someone that is just completely unacquainted, to the Guatis of the world, if you will.
Right. Nobody knows that is. So then both teams to score is minus 230. It seems like an obvious bet in my world. Messi to score minus 110. Yeah, that's what I got.
So are you gonna parlay all of those?
I'm staying.
Or what would you parlay?
I'm staying so far away from this game, but if I want to say a sure bet, I would say both teams will score
and Messi to score.
Yeah,
I wouldn't pick a side.
I wouldn't pick a. I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Well, on that note, what's your score prediction?
Oh man. Still think we win 2-1.
I love it.
I'm not betting on it, but I think so.
Jeez. This is just one of those times I can't go with a win from Miami. This doesn't look good.
So say it. We're gonna get throttled. Say it.
No,
Say it.
I don't think we're gonna get throttled. I think it'll probably be like let's go with a 3-2 Miami loss. I think it'll be a fun match, but we're gonna get scored on. Our defense, we're missing a bunch of people, and maybe Suarez a little light bulb after last match, and he finds some more tap-ins on
another brace
Saturday.
Huh. Another brace, you know what I'm saying?
Another brace, you know.
I'm gonna agree with Shoes. I'm gonna agree with Shoes. 3-1, we take the loss.
Yeah. Jeez.
Sounds pretty like
it's gonna be brutal, man. Like,
is it the first time two of us have predicted a loss in a show? I think
for
so.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Here's my reasoning.
No guts.
Our defense is just beat up in the worst possible way at the worst possible time. Even if the injuries aren't super serious, they're not going to be ready in time for Saturday. What is that, Jose? You want to know? Go ahead. Go ahead. Give Mike his moment in the spotlight.
We're winning 5-2. Messi brace. Suarez going to luck out again, and rare Boosie going Allen. Allen go as well. Jesus.
I've seen it already.
Jose, Matt parlaying that Boosie and no Allen goal.
Wow. A Boosie goal. When was the last time he scored? I think he scored once.
He scored once.
It was a dribbler from
he put the ball on his shirt.
I don't think he wanted.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted to score. I think he just was a dribbler, and it's like, oh, whatever.
He's like, can I pass it to someone still?
Yeah. He almost intercepted it to pass it to someone.
Right. Yeah. Imagine the scenes. Ticket prices would shoot up.
Oh yeah, look at out of nowhere, a screaming header.
They're like, whoa, who's this guy?
A screaming header to the top left. Woof.
I love it.
This guy has potential.
So, like I sort of mentioned, there has been some news, some transfer rumors, some follow-ups on transfer rumors. Chris, our guru of that world, chime in here.
So, a few things going on here. Number one, and Jose's going to be very heartbroken about this, is that Di Maria is officially out of the race for Inter Miami. Yep, red card for Jose.
Why?
Di Maria is going back to his boyhood club, Rosario Central.
Why not?
So, yeah. And, some people are very sad like Jose. Some people don't really care like me because I didn't care if he came or not. And, yeah, that's the end of that for Di Maria. Jose, how do you feel about that?
I think it's stupid. Ultimately, like, it's a bad decision. I and I don't know why you guys are not sad about it, because for me, we need change. It ain't happening from the inside, folks. I don't know. Like, you guys looking at this and saying, "This is the team we need. This is what we got, and we're gonna ride to the end with these guys." I don't know.
You want change? You want change in another 38-year-old guy?
I want something, man. I want something.
Nah, look, this is the change that we need. All right, Ustadi contract extension. Ustadi is as of today, he signed a contract extension. I don't know. I think it was another year or so. So we got Ustadi for another year at least. He started off well. Oh, Jose just left. He started off well, and he
that was his mic drop moment.
So that's that. But some bigger rumors, transfer rumors, and actually manager rumors. This is a big one. Andre Jardín, Club America's manager, is being rumored to Inter Miami. You know, this is rumored from actually Fox Sports. So it's something to kind of look into. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. They may actually be looking at Mascherano out at this point for something that big to come out. Club America does play this weekend against LAFC for that play-in spot. So we'll see what happens there. I'm assuming that may have to do with these rumors as well. We may see a little more rumors if they lose. If they win, we probably won't see much because they'll be in Club World Cup. But another Club America interesting link is Brian Rodriguez, the American left wing. So he's another one that's being rumored to Inter Miami. That one's also catching some heat, I guess you could say. So interesting. You're talking about change, Jose. That's the change that I would like to see. You know, a younger guy, some experience in Liga MX. That's definitely something to me. That's a wiser way to spend your money than signing someone like Di Maria at this point. So, you know, a few little things there that are interesting. It's just weird. Both things are Club America, the two rumors that are out there. You know, one of the best in Liga MX. So why not? You know, I don't know anything about the manager, so I can't say if that's a good thing or not. But it's experience in a league that I guess you could say rivals the MLS and kind of knows the environment a little more than, let's say, a Mascherano does. So I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I just think someone with experience, period.
Yeah.
I think that's become just very apparent with Mascherano is he doesn't the in-game management that we thought he really possessed during the first stretch of the season when we were getting really nice results, that's completely evaporated now that teams have adjusted to Inter Miami. And I think just having someone with experience would just be nice. Would be fresh.
Yeah, agreed.
Jose, you already mic dropped, so you're done.
I just would have preferred Di Maria. I think that would have been so fun. I don't know what I'm getting with the other guy. You know, I would have liked, God forbid, you know, the Modric thing would be true. God forbid, the Di Maria thing would be true.
That is another one that was linked to us, Modric, and that's
like fun. I think that's fun. That's fun stuff. Look, like the Gomez was awesome. That was a hit. Remember, like last year, that was amazing. But we've had a lot more stinkers than we have had Gomez's, if we're being honest, right? So it's hard to be excited for a younger guy. Look, I was excited about Baltasar. He got hurt like 10 minutes in. Like, it can happen to anyone, but I'm just saying, like, you know, that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you would think one of these has got to hit, but you're right. It has been a lot of disappointment, I guess.
Way more. And it has to, you know, I don't know. Is it something that we're doing wrong? I mean, is the training just not as intense as it should be? Is the coaching just not at par, you know, where it should be? We gotta look at it, right? Because I mean, they spent a lot of money in Lujan also, right? And he was supposed to be solid. Redondo was supposed to be solid.
I mean, they bought these players with the purpose of competing in every single competition we're in, and we're falling way short of that right now.
Chelo, I mean, he's. You guys are more bare on him than I am. I don't mind him. You know, I understand he has limitations. I feel like that was an upgrade over last year when we had Yellen. I still do. I think he was an upgrade, and then Braze also brings a different element that I think he's funner to watch. But I think they're both pretty good, at that spot. Like that's not our issue in my world, right? Like that is not our issue, right back. But yeah, our center backs, I don't know how they gotten better. I don't know. We thought they did. We thought that position was solidified, and it's like I don't know if we actually have that.
Going back to what Chris said, like we started the season really strong, and then I think teams just adjusted to us, and Mascherano has yet to make the next move in the chess match of saying, "Oh, I see what you did there, and here's sort of my counter to that." That's where I think the lack of inexperience comes from, or that's where it's shown the most is teams adjusted to how to play against us, and Mascherano doesn't know the counter to that. And he's been trying to sort of figure that out the last 2 months.
Yeah, and Jose, to kind of, I guess, to solidify your point too, is that I'm excited if this young winger comes in. He's 25 years old, Brian Rodriguez, and it'll be great if, and only if, Mascherano actually uses him how he's supposed to be used. We've seen all these young guys come in, and David just made a joke on here. We should get a striker on loan from Atletico Madrid. Yeah. Obando's been here, young guy. He's not really being played, and when he is, it's bad positioning, and so that's the bad part about bringing in one of these younger guys. That maybe another manager, another team could use him wisely. But do we have confidence in Mascherano doing that correctly? Not really. But I'm still excited. Like I still want young talent, young fresh legs on this team. I'm tired of seeing just these older guys come in and we're playing at times with 10 or 9 guys out there at times. So having someone with fresh legs and some pace out there, it wouldn't hurt.
That's good.
You want to read
that's good
for people?
Maybe Miami does scouting reports from injury reports.
Maybe Miami does scouting from injury reports.
There you go.
Because she was just saying Brian Rodriguez is also made out of glass. He was injured all last month.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone has the same sentiment, obviously, right? So that's why I saw like a guy like Angel Di Maria as a potential upgrade to a winger. Like we haven't really had a winger. Gomez, fine, but like I don't even know if we actually consider him like a proper left wing.
No,
right. So that's my point. Like we've never really had like a winger.
Robert Taylor.
But here's like jokes aside. I don't have the faith in Mascherano for these players to succeed, regardless of it. A Di Maria would definitely get his, but
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, but to me, the solution is get a better manager. The entire team will play better instead of get a Di Maria and one position plays better. To me, that's a better fix is improve the tactics, the tactician in the manager position. That's what needs addressing, in my opinion. Di Maria would be fun, for sure. But I don't know how long-lived that would be. Because Suarez was a ton of fun last year.
Yeah.
This year, he is not fun.
He just got hurt,
I don't even think he's hurt. I think he's just old. But also,
Suarez? Yeah, he's just...
But also, like, rest the dude then. I don't know. But that's it for the rumor mill, the news mill, and Saturday should be insightful. I think we'll learn more about this team Saturday than we did last night, going back to sort of the recap of Montreal. But I'm looking forward to it. I hope I'm dead wrong with my prediction. I hope we win 3-1. But we'll see. And Saturday night, the match is at 7:30, Chase Stadium. With the ticket prices, it should be a sellout. I don't see why not. Panthers aren't playing anymore till next week, but we will be live post game Saturday night. So until then, hope everyone has a good Friday, and we'll see you on Saturday. Bye.
We'll be right back.